Hello and welcome to this afternoon's ongoing meditation class. For those who come to the introductory to meditation class, I even know there's 5 Saturdays. Dennis has come to do an extras bonus class for those who come to the introduction. So that's for those who haven't meditated for long periods before. Because here we do a 40-minute meditation. It can be a bit long, sometimes 45 minutes for people. So that's the introductory class. In the room to my right, this is the ongoing class, and today just talk. Sometimes people have been talking to me a lot. I've been teaching overseas about the posture for meditation, how you should sit, and basically that it doesn't matter how you sit. There's nothing special if you put your hands in this way or on your knees or however you put your hands. That is not important at all. As long as your hands are comfortable. You don't get any extra power, by connecting the thumbs together. Nor do you get any extra power by sitting on the floor. That's why we have many seats. And these days, as modern people learn how to do meditation, the majority of them now sit on a chair because it's just too hard to sit on the floor comfortably. For those who like sitting on the floor, we have these wonderful stools you can sit on, which actually take a lot of pressure off your knees. But if you're used to sitting on the floor, fine. And you don't have to be full lotus. Any old lotus will do. Half lotus, quarter lotus, 1% lotus. I don't know why they even call it that, but it's just how you can cross your legs so it feels comfortable. And I know that I was taught when I was young that posture was important and the strongest posture was the full lotus, but that was so hard. You could sit there as a young man. I trained myself to sit in the full lotus, but after half an hour, 45 minutes, it started to get very painful. And the thing which changed my whole attitude towards posture was on the occasion when I was only about 1 or 2 years as a monk, when I developed typhus fever, scrub typhus in the jungles of Thailand. I was hospitalized for about a month. And having a bad fever for a long time, you felt so tired and you felt so aching in everywhere. And just one day I thought, what the hell, I'm going to meditate. To heck with all the pains and aches. And I just went into a very beautiful deep meditation. These are the meditations where your body disappears. And they disappeared, and it was just such a wonderful, when you had a fever, when everything was aching, you felt very weak, to go to a deep place inside where you couldn't feel your body at all. And, it was a very nice deep meditation. But one of the results of that was when I came out and, observed how I was sitting. I just couldn't believe, the arms were all over the place. Like, someone who has just had a deep sleep. You look at your posture when you wake up in the morning and arms and legs are all over the place. And that was my meditation posture for an hour or 2 or 3, I forget how long. I've been in a deep meditation. And I realized from that, look, if my posture was really, really, really important, there's no way I could get into deep meditation sitting or laying down like that. So it proved to me, and it's proved to me ever since, your posture is not really important. No, your body is not the mind is not the body. There's some connection between them. But the whole point of your physical posture is so you can be comfortable. And so learn from people who have been meditating before. You can use cushions, you can use stools. If your chair is too high, you put a cushion underneath your feet just to raise your legs. It makes you feel comfortable. The fellow you're sitting next to has got far longer legs, so he sometimes puts a cushion under his bottom to raise that up, so that your legs are nice and comfortable. So you make your body comfortable. However you manage to do it, that's what you have to do. And once your body is comfortable, that is good posture. However, no matter how you try and get your body comfortable at the very beginning, there will always be some discomfort, usually comes up later on during the meditation. And this is one of the reasons I'm talking about this, because last night someone said to me, that when I meditated, if I get an ache or pain, should I just bear it, force myself through it, contemplate the aches and pains, and become a master of them. Don't give in. Conquer them. And I heard those teachings when I was young. And again, the experience which told me just how stupid that attitude was one of my fellow monks who decided to try that. He had had a motorbike accident when he was young. He lost all his teeth. As some of you may know him, he's been here. That's Ajahn Munindo, Lin. Sometimes he takes out his teeth and he's like an old man. Actually, he's an old man now, like me. But this was when he was young. Had a motorbike accident, no teeth, and he bust his body up quite badly. And so that he does have aches and pains in his knees. So he heard this teaching. You be a tough guy. Just forget about the pain. It's all in the head. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to sit, meditate, and just force his mind past those pains. And what happened in the end was we had to take him to hospital. And he had a double knee reconstruction. He wasn't able to walk for days, for weeks, because he tried to fight his way through pain. That is not the Buddhist way. That's not the way to meditate. If you want to try that, just go and do some martial arts or whatever, and just join the army, become a member of the SAS or something. But this is not the Buddhist way. The Buddhist way is just a very gentle, compassionate and wise way, not a forceful way. Just a one-liner is that we use wisdom power, not willpower, to get deep in meditation. And even with your posture, wisdom power, not willpower. So that means if you do get an ache and pain during your meditation, number one, you understand it. Use wisdom power. And eventually you'll understand that little ache or pain, is it the sort of pain which I have to move, or is it just a tiny irritation which will go away by itself? A lot of these irritations, they do go away by themselves. And sometimes I liken it to just my knee. I just started meditating, maybe just getting nice and rested and peaceful. And it's like my knee gives me a call. Hey, move me. And I know if I answer that call and I move it, then another part of my body will call. Hey, it's my nose, can you please scratch me? Hey, it's my bottom, I need to be moved. It's once they know you're at home, they'll continue calling you. But on the opposite of that is if my knee calls me and I refuse to answer my phone, and I refuse to listen to it, then it rings me up again. And after a while it realizes I'm not going to do anything. And it just doesn't call anymore. Neither does any other part of the body. So that is a little simile there. And I know that type of irritation and pain, which I can ignore. And once I do ignore it, I call that not answering the phone. And I know just the rest of the body will just vanish and they will stop annoying me with all their demands. But I also know that sometimes that pain is more serious than that. I haven't really put myself in a good position. And if I do ignore it, it will just get worse and worse and worse and worse and become a huge irritant to my meditation. Because the nature of the body and the mind is that, you have to be incredibly powerful and strong to be able to ignore those aches and pains. They will come there and they'll always be there, and always, 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 always. And they will just destroy the meditation. So instead of doing that, if you, through your wisdom power, a lot of the time you gain that wisdom power just through trial and error, you get to know the body. You get to know the pains which you can just ignore and the pains which you need to move. And if you do need to move your body, it's a simple thing to do. You just move the body around, move it a little bit, do it slowly, do it as mindfully as you can, because even though you're losing some of your peace and stillness, you're not losing your awareness. The awareness is always right there, poised. So you maintain the awareness, but lose a bit of the stillness as you adjust your body. You move. And I've been teaching that for a long time now, which went against many of my teachers. But I was very pleased to see that modern teachers have come on board, and people who teach meditation, such as one of the old friends, he doesn't come here these days, used to come and visit very often, a very famous monk in Thailand, Ajahn. I was reading one of his books. He advises the same. If you've got a serious ache or pain somewhere, please move, adjust the body. And then you find the time you've so-called wasted, moving the body, disturbing your physical tranquility, it does mean you go backwards for a few stages or few pegs in the meditation. But you soon regain that ground, and better, you can go much deeper afterwards. But if you just stay trying to endure that pain, that's as far as you're going to go in meditation. You won't get any deeper at all. So yes, you do lose something originally when you change your posture, but you soon regain that ground, and because there's no aches and pains to disturb, you can go far, far, far deeper. But it's also the case that sometimes the people, they move and the pain goes away, the irritation goes away. Sometimes they have these experiences of the body moves by itself. And that is really weird. When you're sitting here and the body moves and you're aware enough, I never did that. That wasn't me who did it. This is where I hope you'll start to learn that there's a lot of the body is automatic. It doesn't have to move because you will it to. It does it by yourself, like your lungs, like your heart. Now that also automatic. It's under your radar. It just does what it needs to do. And a lot of your body does that as well. Again, one of the first times that occurred to me, you're always a bit tired when I was a young monk in Thailand because the food was bad, too hot, not enough sleep. So sometimes you'd meditate, you'd slump down. People say that's bad posture, but if you need to do that, you have to do that. So my body was slumping down. But I had enough awareness, I was just used to that. And then suddenly my body straightened up. I was aware enough, I did not do that. No way did I decide to straighten my body. It was fully automatic, and that was really weird when you start to experience your body do something and you never ordered that. Totally automatic. And there's many other examples afterwards. I realized my body knows how to look after its posture. And I don't need to. I'm just sitting there and I let the body adjust itself. And a lot of times it does. Sometimes people have these experiences of jerking when they're meditating. And some of these jerks or strange movements of the body can be really weird. Sometimes people's arms go up. I said, did you know your arm was going up? No, I never did that. You did it by itself. Now all that is, it's nothing to be scared of. It's just some energies in the body, mostly stress produced. Sometimes they're because of some accidents you had in the past, some injuries which are stored somewhere in the body. And when you relax and let go, the body knows how to heal itself. This is actually where the body knows the right posture. And the most extreme case, and I often mention this during my meditation retreats, I was teaching a retreat before we had Jhana Grove Retreat Centre at the Redemptorist Monastery in North Perth in Vincent Street, where we'd always hold our retreats. And, the ice cream man. And monks can't eat ice cream in the afternoon. Ice cream always for a monk who can't eat in the afternoon always feels more delicious. During the morning time, I'm not interested. But when you can't have it, it's always more delicious. But anyway, going back to meditation and postures. I was teaching in this retreat, and somebody actually told me, hey, I better have a look at that girl over there. And this woman, she was twisted. I mean, really, really twisted. I can't just show you how much because, if I did what she did, you'd have to take me to hospital. I'd break things. And I was so concerned about her as a teacher, I waited for her to come out of meditation, took her aside and said, excuse me, how are you? You feel okay? And I was so surprised. She said, I feel incredible. I feel wonderful. I said, well, during the meditation, I was watching you. You were twisted incredibly. And she said, was I? I didn't know. And then when she said that, she said, I saw her twisted. She didn't know what she was doing. And she said she was really peaceful, having a wonderful meditation. And she felt so good. Then, of course, I added one on one, I understood what was going on. I said, when did you have your accident? And then she told me she had a very, very bad car accident. Lucky to get out alive after many weeks in hospital. And all that was happening, those injuries which were inside her body somewhere, when she was meditating, when she let go, the body started to move how the body wanted to, totally automatic, to get into a posture which no one else could do, which she needed to get some healing going on. And it's a very rare posture because that's what this person needed, suited those injuries. And from that time on, I let people know if you move during the meditation, totally automatic, it's usually excellent. You usually feel very good afterwards. Your body is doing what it needs to do. Why it needs to do that? You can look at history, you can look at stress, of your work. It could be an injury from the past, sports injury, a motorbike crash or other crashes. We carry a lot of those injuries inside of ourselves, and the body just adjusts automatically. And that it must be a good posture. Because afterwards people say they feel so good. The body's relaxed, it's healthy, tightness is pains, lingering sort of tensions of accidents and trauma of the past just get released. So it's things like that which taught me that your posture is something, you sort of adjust it at the beginning, sort of, but then you let your body do the rest of the posture stuff. And you don't just tell the body, you must sit like this. You must be full lotus, right leg over the left leg, right arm, right sort of hand over the left hand, thumb is just touching, and just straight back, chin down, and that sort of stuff. It may sound good, but it's not how the body works, and it's not how meditation works. That's far too much control. Your posture is what you learn through mindfulness, through awareness, and kindness, and letting go. And you'll find in meditation, your posture, your body will just move, just how it needs to do it. And that way, you are learning how to relax your own body. And it's amazing just how many people can't do that. If you learn these skills in meditation, sitting here right now, not only do you get healthy, you'll also learn how to overcome one of those, amazing now how common the problems are these days of insomnia. Insomnia is a lot of pain or stress contained in the body. And because, you keep the body in just really uncomfortable positions. So when you're in bed, you find that comfortable position carefully. Not maybe the same position you slept in last night. Because, your body changes, those positions change. Find out how the body feels comfortable. And you know what happens when you're unconscious, in sleep, the body will start to move as it needs to. The main thing is, you're aware, you're kind, you let go, and the body does the rest. You let go of control. And that's exactly what you do for the rest of the meditation too. First of all, you do it on your mind, on your body, and then you apply the same principles to your mental world, and that relaxes and becomes really, really peaceful. But today I was just focusing on posture. Okay, so let's give it a try. So we can start meditating now. So if you'd like to follow what I've just been talking about, get into something which is reasonably comfortable for you. And we'll be meditating firstly for 40 minutes till 4 o'clock. And then we'll have a chance for some questions. So we keep our eyes closed because that can make us more sensitive to our body. It's like one major distraction is removed. Seeing and all the business associated with sight is removed. And instead of focusing on our thoughts or memories or plans, we focus on our body, feeling it as fully as we can, establishing mindfulness, the awareness of our body. And it's not that now you've established mindfulness, so mindfulness grows in power the longer you observe and feel the body. It's not just making contact with it, it's increasing the strength of the signal by just maintaining your awareness of your body. And at this early stage, if you need to move, please move. If you have an ache, a pain, an irritation, a tightness anywhere, at this stage it will certainly get worse later on. So please move now. And we are aware of our body. We're kind to our body. We let our body be, not controlling it, but finding the best possible position as far as we could know, and then we let the body do the rest. Sometimes I spend a long time with my body, sometimes not so long. But when the body is comfortable, I let the body do the rest. I focus on my mental world, by which I mean the thoughts, memories of the past, intentions and plans for the future, all the wanting and the not wanting going on in my mind. Those are all the things in the mental world. And I recognize many of those cause me problems. Especially the wanting. So in this meditation, I am aware of every time I want something, and I let the wanting go. I don't follow it. Until I can get to a state where wants just don't come up. Because the opposite of wanting is contentment. Just happy to be here. With all the wonderful sounds of mobile phones and birds. Not wanting it to be different. And when the sound goes, you don't even remember it. In meditation, we develop a mind like a lotus, whatever falls on the lotus just drops off, leaving no residue. Nothing sticks to the lotus petal. And your meditation, your minded meditation, make it like the lotus petal. So nothing sticks. A memory of the past falls on the lotus petal of your mind and just runs off, leaving no remnant of the past. Plan of the future, a thought about anything falls on your mind like a lotus petal and runs off, leaving no trace it ever fell on you. Imagine your mind like a lotus petal, free of all past, of all future, of all thinking, not by doing anything, but just letting everything run off, leaving nothing. Any thoughts of the past, let them roll off your mind. Let them come, let them be, let them go. Just like a cloud floating over the sky. It leaves no footprint, no trace. Thoughts are like clouds. They just pass and go. Now close to the end of the meditation. How do you feel? How's this meditation been for you? How does your body feel? Your posture? This is how you learn to deal with the body, to make it comfortable, so you can sit still for such a long time. A skill which not many people can do in this world. Just this much causes great health, let alone when your mind becomes still. Shall now ring the gong 3 times. At the end of the 3rd ringing of the gong, come out from your meditation. Okay, there we go. So now we have some questions, I think, from the live streaming is working again now. For those who don't know, that if you can stay on a little bit longer, we have our Buddhist Society of West Australia annual general meeting. So the committee will be there doing a new committee, and you can complain of things which didn't work. You can complain to the monks and the nuns for all my bad jokes. So there's lots of things you can do. Okay, first of all, question 1 from Ellen from the United States. I often have abdominal pain that is not relieved by changing position. I have been following instructions to go to painful areas, try to relax or send loving kindness to them. I find that when I focus on the pain it becomes worse, and I am unable to proceed at all in meditation because the pain just takes over. Do you have any suggestions? A monk suggested I should take morphine sometimes if the pain is too bad, I can't meditate. That seems to be going a bit too far, but you have to obviously find to see what your doctor says about the abdominal pain that is not relieved by changing position. I just wondered, I never mentioned that even sometimes the people in deep pain, they meditate laying down. And just laying down, but you lay down in a posture, in a position you don't normally go to sleep. Because if you lay down on your bed in your sleep posture, you just do go to sleep. You are confusing the mind. Does she want me to meditate or does she want me to sleep? So if I do laying down meditation, I lay down in a posture, usually on my back, because I don't normally go to sleep on my back. Lay down on my back and my mind knows that that is meditation, not sleep. So sometimes, if you have a very painful body, sometimes lying down is one of the best postures you can have. Especially if you're sitting down, obviously, you're squashing your abdomen rather than stretching it. So sometimes that might try that, laying down meditation. And even if you haven't got bad pains or abdomens, sometimes it's good to actually to learn laying down meditation. Because, you spend many days in your life in hospital beds. Your last days were probably lying down. And to be able to learn how to meditate in that posture is very helpful, especially at the last hours of your life. So if you go to painful areas and try to relax them, I think one of the problems there, and I may be wrong here because all I've got is a little text here, try to relax. Because a lot of times it's the trying which makes it more tense and makes it worse. instead of trying to relax it, I may suggest to this Ella from the United States to try and open the door of your heart to that pain, to welcome it in. Because there's a classic story which I've used many times on myself and with other students. And you can see it in the first book, Opening the Door of Your Heart. In the United States, that's the truckload of dung book about the monster in the Emperor's Palace. It's a story I've mentioned many times. In brief, monster comes into the palace, sits in the Emperor's chair. It's disgusting, it's offensive. Everyone says, get out of here, you don't belong. Every time they're trying to get rid of it, shout at it, crawl to it, the monster grows bigger and more of a problem. And the Emperor comes back, he says, instead of get out of here, I'm not trying to get rid of you, he says, welcome, thank you for coming. And that little act of kindness, the monster grows an inch smaller. And he continues that way, with acts of kindness. Every act, speech, thought of kindness, the monster grows smaller, until the monster is so small, vanishes away with one more act of kindness. Now that is what we mean by relaxing. Relaxing is whatever it takes to lessen the pain. So to me, it's maybe you're not relaxing, you're trying to relax, which is the opposite thing. So maybe use the metaphor, the imagery of a monster which has come into your abdomen, the pain. And instead of trying to get rid of it, say, welcome. Thank you for visiting me. Be kind to it. And then, if it is real kindness, a lot of times the monster gets smaller and easier to deal with. But certainly, taking morphine that goes a bit too far. Unless you really are under a doctor's supervision. Anyway, next question from France, from Cad. What begins as meditation for me turns quickly, sometimes very quickly, to torpor and sleepiness. I have been struggling for years with this state. Now I am still doing sleepitation. A mixture of sleep and meditation with seconds of real observation of the breath. Do you have any tip to reduce the time spent in torpor? Thank you. Number one, please don't fight it. If you understand what the tiredness of the mind is, a lot of time it's physical. You've been working hard. It's also the mental tiredness by worrying and thinking too much about things which you can't make any difference to. So first of all, let's learn how to rest properly. Look at the physical problem first of all, because that's easy to deal with. Learn how to sleep efficiently. And there's many talks which I've given, even here, on how to sleep well. So the small time you have on sleep, you can use efficiently. And once the body is rested, the other thing is sometimes the mind is tired because it's been thinking too much and worrying too much. So look for the way you use your mind in your daily life. Listen to some more of these talks, read some of those books which say, why worry about things you can't make any difference to? If there's something you can do, then do it. If there's nothing you can do, then do nothing. And so, okay. I actually said this last night, can't do that same old joke. But this is where you look at seeing if you can energize your brain by not doing so much, not worrying so much, not wasting its energies. Now when it comes to, this is just what you do before meditation. When it comes actually to the meditation, if you are tired, then it's a natural state of mind. Please do not fight it. Your meditation tiredness is a lack of mental energy, and if you fight that tiredness, you are wasting the little energy you have. So if you are tired, go into preservation of energy state. In other words, just be with the tiredness. Don't take it personally as some personal fault in your meditation. Just be with it. Don't fight. And if you just let it be, the fact that you are not doing anything means the little energy you have, plus the energy which is always coming into your brain, will build and get stronger and more powerful until it gets powerful enough that the torpor disappears. So similar to the mists in the morning when the sun comes up, slowly the sun melts all the mist away and it's clear again. It's that sun of awareness. We have only got little awareness, but that's enough. And just this beautiful kindness which lets it be, not fighting. And the other thing, if it happens very, very often, is develop some inspiration. Now think of all of your good karma you've done in the past. This is one difficult thing for people in the Western world. They can always think of all the bad things they've done and get themselves really upset and angry and grief-stricken and guilty and depressed. We're very good at that. But what about doing the opposite? Think of all the incredible, wonderful, good, kind, generous things you've done in your life. There's a talk I gave last night of merit making. Make some merit. And then you get this incredible joy comes up. If that doesn't work, get inspired. Listen to a favorite talk, even some incredible, powerful music which always inspires you. And then when you have inspiration, that stops the sloth and torpor. The mind wakes up, it's inspired. And that is also a beautiful free source of energy. As I notice, as many monks in Bodhinyana monastery notice, the nuns notice it, maybe even here. If you ever have the good fortune to listen to an inspiring talk, on Buddhism or meditation, it really gets into you. If you meditate afterwards, there's no hope of sloth and torpor. The inspiration fires you up. I've used that many times when I've been physically exhausted. Inspire myself. Remember all the great, good, kind, generous, wonderful things which I've done that day. And that brings up so much energy. Where I really should be exhausted and tired, the meditation incredibly takes off. So try inspiration as well. And if you haven't done anything inspiring, I'm sure you have, Kat, but sometimes we can't think about it. Think of all the other inspiring things which people are doing in this world. And just get something which really moves you. Think about it. And that just lifts up the energies of the mind. A lot of times the sloth and torpor have come from negative perceptions. 2 bad bricks in the wall. You look at the 998 good bricks in the wall, that inspires you and takes away much of the sloth and torpor of life. When we think of the faults, the anger, the guilt, just sucks up our energy. And we have this beautiful happiness and joy of making good karma, looking after one another, caring for one another, being compassionate, going to old people's homes and mopping the floor, whatever it is, that is a free source of energy. Get into that, remember it, just dwell on it, and then you find, just in life, you have energy. So that's some answer to that question. Very good questions. So now, any questions from the floor? The guys here. Okay, there'll be some questions afterwards, as there always is, but it's now 4:15. So we'll finish off now, and in 45 minutes we do have our AGM. So those of you who are staying for that, please have a cup of tea, and then at 5 o'clock we'll be back here for the annual general meeting. Let's pray respects to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha now.